There's a simple, bubbling chemical reaction sitting in your kitchen pantry right now that eliminates bathroom mold on contact. Not with toxic fumes, not with corrosive bleach, but with a microscopic oxygen blast that's been used by professional restoration experts for decades. A standard application costs less than 50 cents. Yet, the multi-billion-dollar household cleaning industry has absolutely zero incentive to tell you it exists. Imagine the boardroom meetings at the giant chemical conglomerates. They look at the spreadsheets. They see a simple 2-ingredient solution that effectively ends the need for their entire bathroom aisle inventory. To them, that isn't a breakthrough. It's a financial catastrophe. They didn't stop recommending it because it failed. They stopped because it worked too well. A paste that permanently erases stains for pennies cannot generate $15 miracle spray sales every 3 weeks. And what cannot generate recurring revenue cannot be allowed to reach your shower floor. In the world of high-margin retail, efficacy is the enemy of profit. This is the story of the hidden biology inside your walls, the invisible infrastructure of your home that is currently being hijacked by opportunistic fungi. I'm going to show you why the industry buried the solution under layers of synthetic gels, neon-colored dyes, and marketing lies designed to keep you on a treadmill of perpetual labor. Welcome to the Cleaning Vault. If you're tired of being a slave to the scrub brush, if you're done inhaling chlorine gas just to get a clean shower, subscribe and hit the bell. We're digging up what they buried, one molecular layer at a time. Before I open this vault, you need to understand what is actually growing inside your bathroom right now. It is far more sinister than dirt. Most people think their bathroom is the cleanest room in the house. You rinse it daily, you use fragrant soaps, you light candles. In reality, your shower is a domestic tropical rainforest. It is a hyperhumid, climate-controlled incubator. It is the perfect, thriving breeding ground for microscopic life that hasn't changed its survival strategy in 300 million years. Every hot shower you take is a feeding event. As the water hits your body, it strips away an invisible, biological cocktail. Microscopic flakes of dead skin, sebum, body oils, and the sticky, high-performance silicone residues found in expensive conditioners. These aren't washed away. As the steam condenses on your cold tiles, it turns into a viscous sludge, a nutrient-dense broth that is gravity-fed directly into the recessed channels of your grout lines. And here's the terrifying part. Mold and mildew aren't just surface guests. They don't just sit on your tile. They are sophisticated biological engineers. They extend hyphae, microscopic thread-like roots, that act like biological drill bits. They anchor themselves deep inside the dark, damp, oxygen-deprived belly of the grout itself. By the time you see a faint gray shadow or a single black spot, the infection is already a quarter-inch deep, feeding on the oils trapped behind your walls. You aren't looking at a stain, you're looking at the fruit of a subterranean forest. Why is grout so impossible to clean? It's a design flaw the industry loves, a feature they hope you never investigate. Most bathroom grout is cement-based. It's essentially a thin ribbon of concrete. If you looked at it under a powerful electron microscope, it wouldn't look like a solid, smooth line. It would look like a rugged, chaotic lunar landscape. It is a nightmare of jagged peaks, bottomless caverns, and thousands of tiny microscopic pores. It is, for all intents and purposes, a mineral sponge. Now, think about your cleaning routine. Every time you clean with a standard mop, a rag, or a cheap spray and wipe, you aren't removing dirt. You're performing a mechanical injection. The pressure of your wiping action physically pushes the liquefied oils, the sloughed skin cells, and the dormant bacteria deeper into those jagged caverns. You are literally packing the sponge with a lifetime supply of food for mold. Professional cleaners understand this topography perfectly. They see the grout for what it is, a porous trap. They know that surface scrubbing is a fool's errand. It's like trying to clean a sponge by rubbing the top of it with a dry paper towel. But they won't tell you that. Instead, they charge you a $300 premium for a specialized deep clean or a proprietary restoration service that utilizes the exact same physics you can replicate for the price of a gumball. When the stains get bad and the smell starts to linger, you head to the big box hardware store. You feel the panic. You buy the Ultra Strength Miracle Mold Gel or the Instant Industrial Whitener with the bright red professional grade sticker. Stop. Look at the label. Most of these products are essentially concentrated sodium hypochlorite, common liquid bleach, thickened with synthetic polymers to turn it into a gel. Here's the secret the labels won't tell you. Bleach is a cosmetic liar. Because bleach has a high molecular weight and a thick molecular chain, it has high surface tension. It literally cannot penetrate the tiny microscopic pores of the grout. It's too fat to get into the caverns. Instead, it sits on the surface and chemically bleaches the pigment of the mold. It destroys the melanin of the fungus, but it leaves the biological structure, the roots, completely intact and well fed. You've essentially given your mold a high-end white dye job. It looks clean for a week. You feel a sense of accomplishment. But within 14 days, the fungus regrows its color. The black stains return from the depths, and you head back to the store to spend another $15 on another bottle. That isn't pest control. That is a subscription model. It's a recurring revenue stream built on the biological clock of fungal regrowth. They aren't selling you a clean bathroom. They are selling you a temporary illusion. If you want to break the cycle, you have to stop using corrosion, which eats your grout, and start using oxidation, which cleans it from the inside out. This is the oxygen blast protocol. It relies on the violent liberation of oxygen molecules to do the heavy lifting. You need 2 humble, ignored ingredients, 3% hydrogen peroxide, the brown bottle in the first aid aisle, and standard baking soda. Hydrogen peroxide is an inherently unstable molecule, H2RO22-LOR. It is essentially water with an extra aggressive oxygen atom attached. It desperately wants to shed that atom and break back down into pure water. Baking soda acts as the chemical catalyst, the trigger, that turns that slow breakdown into a violent microscopic explosion of millions of bubbles. The mix, the volt ratios. 1. The vessel. Use a plastic or glass bowl. Never use metal. Even a stainless steel spoon can trigger a premature catalytic reaction, killing the potency of the oxygen before the paste even hits your wall. You want that energy saved for the grout. 2, 3, the base. Start with a generous mound of baking soda. 4, 5. The activation. Slowly pour in the 3% peroxide. You'll hear a faint hiss. That's the sound of the industry's profit margin evaporating. 6, 7. The consistency. Stir until you reach a thick cake frosting texture. 8, 9. The test. If it's runny, it's useless. It must be viscous enough to defy gravity. If you smear it on a vertical tile and it slides down, add more soda. It needs to dwell on the target. 10. The application. Slather the paste onto the grout lines. Don't be stingy. You're creating what restoration experts call a chemical mask. You're sealing the oxygen blast against the mineral sponge. Now, here's the step 99% of people get wrong because they are addicted to the scrubbing myth, do absolutely nothing. Step away for 15 to 20 minutes. Go have a coffee. During this quiet time, a molecular battle is happening inside your walls. Millions of oxygen bubbles are forming inside the pores of the grout. As they expand, they create internal pressure, physically ripping the oils, the conditioner residues, and the mold roots out of the stone and pushing them to the surface. If you scrub now, you interrupt the physics. Let the chemistry be your unpaid intern. When you return, you'll see what I call the proof of concept. That crisp snow-white paste you applied? It won't be white anymore. It will be murky, gray, or sickly yellow. That isn't the paste changing color. That is the literal filth that was trapped 3 millimeters deep inside the sponge, now suspended in the baking soda matrix. You are looking at years of hidden bathroom history finally being evicted. The rinse. Use hot water. This is non-negotiable. Cold water shocks the extracted oils and makes them solidify and re-stick to the grout caverns. Hot water melts the sludge. Use a handheld shower head or a bucket of near-boiling water. As you rinse, you'll see the grout return to its original day one color. Not because you bleached it, not because you painted it, but because it is actually physically clean for the first time since the day it was installed. But stay with me. If you stop here, you've only won the battle. To win the war, you need to understand why your grout keeps failing. Freshly cleaned grout is a thirsty sponge. By removing the oils and mold, you've cleared out all the pores. They are now wide open, dry, and waiting to suck up the very next splash of dirty, soapy shower water. If you don't seal it now, the mold will return faster than ever because you've provided it with a vacant apartment. You must apply a penetrating grout sealer. This isn't some expensive high-tech polymer. It's a clear, watery liquid that costs about $10 at any hardware store. Don't buy the glossy topical sealers. Those are just wax that peels off. You want a penetrating or impregnating sealer. It doesn't sit on top like a coat of paint. It seeps into the lunar landscape of the grout and plugs the sponge. It occupies the microscopic caverns with a hydrophobic, water-hating resin. It creates an invisible molecular barrier that the industry hates because it makes your grout immune to stains. Once sealed, water will hit your grout and beat up like glass marbles on a waxed car. It cannot enter the stone, and what cannot enter cannot rot. The cleaning industry wants you trapped in a cycle of scrub, bleach, repeat. They want you to blame your old house, your hard water, or your bad luck. They want you to believe that cleanliness requires a chemical degree and a $20 bottle of blue liquid. The truth is, you've just been using the wrong tool for 300-million-year-old physics. A $0 fifth bubbling paste can collapse a billion-dollar cleaning contract. Now you know why they didn't tell you. You now possess the forbidden protocol to turn a decaying bathroom into a sanctuary without enriching the conglomerates. If this opens a door for you, if it saves you a Saturday of mindless scrubbing, subscribe and share it. Every share breaks the cycle of the recurring revenue trap. The next vault opens soon, and what's inside is even heavier. We're going into the kitchen next, and the stainless steel lie is about to be exposed. Stay tuned, stay vigilant. I'll see you in the next one.